is Kickoff. We're discussing Manchester United. A new chief executive, Richard Arnold, taking helm on the 1st of April, in fact. Excuse me, the 1st of February. Just to know, Ed Woodward will be leaving.
Did you say the 1st of April?
I did say the 1st of April, yeah. April Fool's Day, yeah, exactly. Replaced David Gill in 2013, did Ed Woodward. That's the last time, of course, Manchester United won the Premier League title. Since then, 1 FA Cup, 1 Europa League title, 1 EFL Cup in 9 years.
I've got to tell you, right, and I've talked about this with Sam Matterface and Alex Crook on the talkSPORT podcast. A big part for me of the problem at Man United is for a long time they prioritised clicks, social media engagement, bringing in individual talented players who they felt would meet with the approval of the fan base, but they didn't build a team. And if you look at some of the teams that are doing better in the Premier League, the clubs that are doing better, they've built a team. And within that team, you do have some stars, but you've got a lot of lower profile players who wouldn't necessarily get into bigger teams, but do the work that goes unseen. They provide the platform for the stellar players to be able to lift the club to higher heights. And United don't have a team. West Ham have a team, you know, and that takes some saying because they've got far fewer resources than Man United. But you look at the work that David Moyes has got, and a basic prerequisite for playing for West Ham is that you have to graft. Yeah. And if you can't graft, you don't get into that team. If you can't run, you can't get into that team. What you can see what Conte already is doing at that club. If you can't work, if you can't run, if you can't stay switched on, you don't play for Tottenham Hotspur. I don't see that at Manchester United. And I don't necessarily think that's a problem of the people running the club. I don't necessarily think it's a problem of the people coaching. Now you have to look at the players and say, are they doing that? Are they turning up? And would they be doing better if the pressure was actually on them rather than the... I mean, listen, if I just go back to the start of that point, if they had prioritised building a team over individuals, maybe they'd be in a better place now.
Well, let's talk about the team then instead of the individuals. Ralf Rangnick has a big question to answer right now. Manchester United aren't playing well in his 4-2-2-2 system, which a lot of ex-pros are just calling 4-4-2. But the point is, these Manchester United players, they don't seem up for it. They don't seem to want to play that way, and clearly it's not working very well. What would you do, Kevin? Would you, if you were the coach right now, would you try and find a solution that suits the players, even if it's not exactly the way you want to play? Or do you persevere, knowing that you risk not finishing in the top 4, not in the Champions League spots, which, of course, is, I think most people would say, doesn't meet the minimum expectation for Manchester United?
You can't hide behind systems. Systems don't make the team. Players make the team. The problem is Ralf Rangnick's got to win the players over. That's the key. He has to win the players over, because you could pick 3-5-2, 4-2-2-2. You could do whatever you want. If the players don't believe in you and they don't want to work for you, you are going nowhere. And that's what's happening right now. So Ralf Rangnick's got, he's going to get a little bit of help on the 1st of February, but he needs a team who's going to believe in what he's doing. And if whoever believes in it, maybe he has to start dropping a few and putting players in there who are going to graft. Because if he does that, then the Manchester United faithful know the others are left out because they don't want to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, if you look at City and the reason why they're successful is because they let the manager manage. And when he takes a decision, the club backs the manager. We've seen over the past week or so, whatever you think about the Lukaku interview, the club backed the manager. But at the Manchester United, when the players start whinging and moaning, the manager gets thrown overboard.
But he's not the manager.
The guy in charge.
No, but I think this is an important point. He's not the manager. So the players are looking at him thinking, well, does he have to win us over? He's not going to be the manager at the end of the season.
You're forgetting one basic premise.
Go on.
The players are not playing for this guy. They're playing for Manchester United Football Club. No. When you listen,
he's the person that tells them what to do. He has to motivate them.
There are other clubs where you're playing for the guys running the club, but at the elite clubs, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, when you pull on that shirt, you are playing for a club steeped in history and tradition, and it's incumbent on you to live up to the weight of that shirt. So you can say, I don't like the manager. Kevin,
100%. There are no free hits at the big clubs. None whatsoever. And the pressure is you've got to win every game. We know you can't, but that is what the history of the football club says.
I don't think they're going to have faith in Rangnick if he almost doesn't change things now.
I don't care if they got faith in him. Play for the club. Do you love this club? Do you want to be at this club?
Darren,
are you committed to the fan base who have that financial and emotional investment in the club?
You're missing the point.
That's what matters.
But you're missing the point. He needs to finish in the top 4 this year, we think. Yeah. He has this squad of players. If the answer to all the questions you just asked is no, they aren't those players, they aren't that guy, if you like, he still has to put them out there on the pitch and try and get results.
Yeah, but they have to work with him. They have to work for him. They have got, when you go to those clubs, if you want to play, and this goes right back to what I said at the start, there are lots of players who love the idea of playing for Manchester United, but I don't think they're invested in the work and the intensity of that work that goes into playing for Manchester United. And there's only so often that those players can be indulged.
Ralf Rangnick, we know, will have a 2-year consultancy at Manchester United. If he's not the new manager, that is, if he doesn't continue as manager in the summer. If results don't go the way he will hope for the rest of this season, do you trust Manchester United? Would it be a good decision to leave him in charge of shaping their future for 2 years afterwards in terms of what he wants from a technical director standpoint?
I think it's valuable information what Ralf Rangnick's gathering now. Because at the end of the day, a new manager coming in, obviously he's going to make his own assessment, but Ralf Rangnick has been part-time manager, interim manager, if you like. He'll be able to say, this one I'm for, this one's I'm against, these believed in it, these didn't, these caused problems. It's really important to weed out. If there's bad eggs in there, you've got to get them out.
Get them out.
You've got to.
Kick-off with Hugh Wozencroft. Tuesday to Thursday night, 7 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.